Hello, everyone. Welcome to the lesson 2 of our subject Cultural Variations and Social Differences in Socioeconomic Class. Okay, socioeconomic class is another way of categorizing members in the society. Different societies consider different ways of determining socioeconomic class. Nevertheless, all of them have an implication to the social status, political influence of the people in the society. So here in our lesson, we will discuss about socioeconomic class and how it affects power relations in society. So starting out, have you noticed that a growing number of informal settlers in urban areas in the Philippines? So may napapansin ba kayo kung unti-unti bang lumulobo yung populasyon ng Pilipinas? You may see these squatter areas on the news or even in person. When you travel around Metro Manila, especially those in Tondo area, are you familiar with the answer of Miss Catriona Gray that she described the Tondo Manila as a really poor area? These people constitute families without legal properties, I mean house properties, who are left with no choice but must to improvise and establish makeshift dwellings in privately owned spaces of other citizens. Mostly, as what we have observed, usually, yung mga demolitions na nangyayari ay doon sa Metro Manila because there are so many informal settlers that nakikitira lang sila sa mga bayong-bayong and at the time na gagamitin na ng uh, may-ari yung lupa, they will be demolished and kaya may mga demolition na mga nangyayari because of this socio-economic class. Almost people who live in these areas came from take note, provinces and immigrated to Manila because they are hoping to find better economic opportunities in the city. But, however, due to the lack of education, only limited employment opportunities are available para sa kanila. Suitable economic opportunities, if there exists one, are only menial jobs with low conditions of work and pay. Kaya ito ang nangyayari. Nagtitiis sila sa mga squatter areas because some of them are hindi nakapagtapos. Kaya minimal lang na mga opportunities or job opportunities ang uh, kanilang makikita. Kaya kung may makikita naman sila na trabaho, it's just for survival only. Like for example, it's for one day job only to survive para makakain. That's how life works on them. As a result, these informal settlers coming from different provinces is nananatili paling mahirap and incapable of sustaining their families decently. Okay, in your picture, this is an example of squatter area in Manila. Okay, 'di ba? Kaya ako mas pipiliin ko na lang manirahan dito sa provinces because we have this our uh, what we called hayahay na kinabuhi. Okay, with this situation in mind, do you perceive the state of the people in the Philippines in terms of socioeconomic classes? So, what factors determine one's inclusion in a particular socioeconomic class? Ano yung mga factors to consider when we are studying or we are understanding socioeconomic class? How does socioeconomic class relates to one's status and power in the society? Later, we will answer that question. Okay, in socioeconomic class and class systems, as the word suggests, socioeconomic class is referring to a category of groups of people with the similar economic, these are the factors we should consider economic, social, cultural, and political status. Pag sinasabi pa lang socioeconomic class, hindi lang pala isang factor ang i-consider natin, like for example, the wealth of the people or the economic class, but of course, the social, cultural, and even political status. It is important to note that the concept of socioeconomic class is far more complex and encompassing than the economic status. Bakit ba? Because in economic status, the only basis daw in economic status is the ranking people only include income in the family. But it is it means that in economic status, a lower income puts they are put in a lower economic status, while the high those people who have high incomes are advances people to a higher economic status. While in a socio-economic class daw, on the other hand, we can consider income but also other factors such as what? Occupation, yung mga trabaho, and education, kung ano yung mga napag-aralan nila. These different types of occupations and educational attainment have an attached prestige in them that influences an individual's categorization to a socio-economic class. In a white collar job such as those doctors and lawyers, they are viewed in our society as to be they are prestigious. On the other hand, those who are blue collar jobs or like the construction workers and janitors are actually they are socially stigmatized. This is how our socio-economic status, this is how we viewed kasi. Ito yung nakasanayan natin. Ito yung what we are living today. In terms of education, attainment, or undergraduate degrees, or more special examples, those master's and doctoral degree is met with admiration in the society, of course, because they finish. And deficiency or absence of formal education, in contrast, ang kabaliktaran nito, this invites disapproval from a societal members because this is a reality. This is what we are today. Thus, we need to accept this. These different types of categorizing societal members into socioeconomic classes exist across various cultures. For instance, the caste system of India determine one social class and status in their society. So are you familiar with the caste system of India? The citizens from a higher class tend to be more job opportunities in the government than the lower caste members. In here, these are the example of the Indian caste system. Sa pinakataas nila, those are the Brahmins or those priests. Sila yung much high, those they are belong to a higher caste system. Next for Brahmins is Kshatriyas. Those are the rulers or the kings or the warrior. And next is Vaishyas. Vaishyas is those are merchants, craftsmen, or are craftsmen, skilled workers. Next for Vaishyas is the Sudra. Those are people who are unskilled workers and servants. So under pa jud sa Sudra, we have this called Dalits or the untouchables or the outcast. This is how the Indian caste system works. Pinakataas gani is Brahmins. Next is Kshatriyas. Next for Kshatriyas is Vaishyas. Next is Sudra. And under sa Sudra, we have Dalits. Okay. It should be noted that the culture change occurs in the society. Conceptions of socioeconomic classes may be changed as well because the socioeconomic status in our society may vary upon the generation where we belong. Let us use the example here in the Philippines. During the Spanish colonial era, Spanish blood and ancestry is main determinant of one's social class in a colony. Have you remember in your history class that the highest socio-economic class back then are those who are called Peninsulares. These are those citizens or yung mamamayan na they have pure blood Spanish or Spanish blood who were born in Spain. Pag natao sila sa Spain and they are pure Spanish, have Spanish blood, ang tawag sa kanila is Peninsulares and they are in the highest rank. Next to them are the Insulares. Insulares means those are pure Spaniards, pero they are born in the Philippines. Next to Insulares is what we call Ilustrados. Those are examples of them are those Jose Rizal, Marcelo H. Del Pilar, and other Filipinos who are those privileged to study in abroad. Ang tawag sa kanila is ilustrados. Next them is the Chinese mestizos or the fourth in the hierarchy. And last is yung pinakamababang uri ng tao sa panahon ng mga Spaniards are those Indios or the native Filipinos that born and raised in the Philippines. So we will go back the highest rank in the the Spanish era are those Peninsulares, Insulares, Ilustrados, Chinese mestizos, and the last is Indios. Okay, each socioeconomic class enjoys different economic, social, and political rights. Okay, in our time, in the contemporary Filipino society, there are only three general socioeconomic classes categorize Filipinos in terms of occupation, education, income, lifestyle, and other determinants. So, sa ating nakasanayan na ngayon, we have only three, the lower, middle, and the upper class. Ito na ang determinants of socio-economic class sa panahon natin ngayon. The lower class, middle class, and the upper class. Okay, proceed. We have here socio-economic class and we have the percentage of the Filipino people and the occupation where they usually belongs. In here, we have the table 1, the summary of socio-economic class in contemporary Filipino society according to Zaid 2005. Okay. In upper class, only 10% daw sa lahat sa buong Pilipinas are those in the upper class. And those are usually yung mga trabaho nila is those wealthy industrialists with big corporations and owners of large plantations or haciendas. Example of this are the Kuangkus, sino itong may-ari ng Tadeco, si Florendo, and of course, the big companies in Metro Manila, the Lopez's, may-ari ng ABS-CBN, and other uh, big mans in the industry in the Philippines. In middle class, only 20% in the Philippines are belong to middle class. Those are sino ba tong nasa middle class? Those are professionals, yung mga nakapagtapos, and skilled and semi-skilled workers in offices, yung mga nagtatrabaho sa mga opisina, factories, and even those who are working in farms. And the last socio-economic class in the contemporary Filipino society are those in the lower class. We have marami-rami rin, 70% daw, according to Zaid 2005, that 70% of the Filipinos belongs to a lower class. Ito yung mga laborers and unskilled workers. Okay, other socioeconomic class systems includes that of Karl Marx, which delineates the bourgeois and the proletariat. When we say bourgeois, those are the rich people, and proletariat are those people who are in the, who are the workers. Okay. The bourgeois is the class that owns the means of production. Example, the monetary, may-ari ng lupa, and technological capital, yung mga uh, mga machines na ginagamit in labors which are needed in order to initiate production. Okay, remember that those bourgeois is the owners of this uh, what we call means of production na kinakailangan to initiate production. Hindi na nila kailangan magtrabaho since they are already gaining money galing sa pag-i-invest nila in their capital. Okay, sino ba ang magtatrabaho para sa kanila? Those are proletariats. They are anyone who is not an owner of the means of production and must work in order to survive. The proletariats are, they have no choice. They don't have even choice but to survive, to work for in order for them to survive in their daily lives. In this system of socio-economic class, we can obviously see that the difference between classes, economic and social status. Okay, remember, these are the things that we need to remember. Different cultures may have varying determinants and categories of socio-economic classes. These systems may also change over time as societies undergo social and cultural change. Okay, it doesn't mean that the basis of our socio-economic class here in the Philippines are the same factors that the same basis of the socio-economic class on the other countries, because we have varying various cultures, and it differs upon the cultures that we belong, and it differs upon the culture that we are holding on upon this contemporary period. Okay, understand? Okay, in economic, social, and cultural capital, as mentioned earlier, there are several factors that determine one's position in socioeconomic class. These determinants may generally fall under economic, social, or cultural capital. Under here are the types of capital. We have economic capital, social capital, and cultural capital. Above here is the definition of each type of capital and the example of each type of capital. Let us begin with the economic capital. What do we mean by economic capital? When we say economic capital, it refers to the financial resources that an individual possesses. Example, this is those are money, assets, properties, and savings. Those are our liabilities na kailangan natin. Ito yung economic capital. When we say social capital naman, ito yung collection of a network of an individual's social relations with people that may be of a help in the future. These are those people that we need in order to survive. Example, those people na pwede natin utangan, pwede natin hiraman ng pera, and of course, those people na pwede natin hinga ng tulong in case of tayo na ang nangangailangan. Those are the relationship with peers, yung mga kasing edad lang natin, or friends. Friends that we consider friends, because we have friends kasi, tinatawag na friends, but we don't consider them friends. Family, even itong by blood or not in blood na families, teachers, fellow alumni, colleagues, employers, and even community members at our mga neighbors, and kauban nato sa mga church. Okay, when we say cultural capital naman, it is the combination of knowledge, behaviors, and skills that an individual has acquired to demonstrate one's cultural competence and in turn determines one's social status in the society. Example of this are duha, material and non-material. Those under sa material are sources of knowledge like yung mga books and computers. And those non-materials are academic degrees, yung mga ah, natapos natin, job titles, religious titles, and other social roles. Okay, balik na tayo ha. What are those type of capitals gani? We have economic capital, social capital, and cultural capital. So don't forget this ha. Okay, the three aforementioned are interrelated in the sense that they can be exchanged for another. When I say interrelated, pwede sila magkasabay-sabay na manid natin. High economic capital would allow a person to avail services or education in a prestigious college or university. In this university, one can develop his social capital by creating connections with professors, co-students, and friends that enhances his network of social relations at his disposal. Being able to get in the university and expand one's social network, it will allow to be easy for an individual to acquire cultural capital by studying and in time getting a degree. The cultural capital of finishing a degree in a prestigious university together with the social capital one had formed through the years will help an individual to secure an equally prestigious and high-paying job which will enhance his socio-economic class. Very good example of this is the former president of the Republic of the Philippines, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Gloria is a former student of the Harvard University, a class of a a part of economic class of the Harvard. One of her classmate is I forgot the name, but before Obama, the president of the United States, I guess it's George. Uh, it's the class. I don't know if am I right? But as much I have remembered that the classmate of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in the Harvard University is the former president also of the uh, United States of America. And this time, 'di ba, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo belongs to one of the prestigious colleges and a classmate niya ang isa po sa president sa United States. And in time sa iyang pagka-president, nagamit po na ni Gloria because of those relationship niya sa iyang classmate and nagamit niya to maintain also or yung mga kailangan natin dito sa Philippines. Nagamit niya na nga connection pod. So that's in the advantage and that's a very good example of the interrelated sense of those types of capital. Okay, next. Okay, have you seen the picture? The picture is about the two children begging on the streets. Okay, this is the question. In the lower echelons of the socio-economic class systems, there are people who are not only income poor but also food poor. So, in a socio-economic class system pala, this naga-exist pa pala yung mga tao na we are not only mahirap in terms of income but of course naghihirap din pala sila in terms of even sa food. This means that their economic resources are not even enough to put on a decent meal to fill their stomachs. In the Philippines alone, there are poor families and children living in the streets who depend on begging to sustain basic needs. Kaya, marami tayong nakikita dito sa Pilipinas, even in here in Panabo City, even in Tagum, in Davao, and even other provinces and municipalities daghan jud kaayo og mga manglilimos. It's because of this what we call socio-economic status. Okay, what do you think is the state of the economic, social, and cultural capital of these children? What do you think? How would their socio-economic class affect their lives in the future. So, ito yung palagi nating iisipin no na if we don't strive for education because our society is actually labeling us based on these factors, and one of these factors are the education talaga. So, mahirap talaga pag walang pinag-aralan ng isang tao because it can has a ripple effect in our society, even in ourselves talaga. Lisod man gani mangita og trabaho ang naka-graduate, unsa pa ka lang katong mga wala jud ka graduate. So that's the challenge upon us, especially kamo. It's a challenge for you to how you uplift your living status nowadays. Gawas lang if you are lucky enough to be part in the rich family, but actually even in a rich family there are also dreams that we are want to achieve in our life, and even uh dreams that how we will uplift the life of the economy where we belong, like here in the Philippines. Okay, in social implications of socio-economic differences, the concept of socio-economic class is not just discussed for the sake of studying it, but more importantly, we are discussing it for us to understand and ma-recognize nato that uh, the vital to expose the social, cultural, economic, and political barriers that it creates within each socio-economic levels. The hierarchy that is always established in socio-economic classes propagates inequality among members of the society in terms of acquiring basic resources and economic opportunities. Yung mga pamilya that are belong to the lower economic classes have a little capacity to obtain basic needs. Examples of those basic needs are food, clean water, and decent shelter necessary for their survival. Members of the low socioeconomic class also do not have enough economic capital to avail better educational opportunities that could lead to a better employment opportunities and living conditions. Like for examples, those who are students that belong their families belong to the middle class. Actually, they dream for a better course, but dream course nila, pero they ended up landing up to the pinakamurang course na what they want to uh, ma- makuha nila in college, because even if gustuhin man nila na maging lawyer or maging doctor, it's very expensive kasi. So, they landed up on a different course. So, that's how it works, you know. Conversely, people in the high echelons do not have any problem in acquiring these needs and opportunities as they have all the economic, social, and cultural capital at their disposal. So, hindi na sila mahihirapan pa to live, even to choose educational degrees. Kaya most usually those who graduated on doctors and even lawyers are those belongs to what they call the higher echelons. Power relations is also impacted by the existence of socioeconomic classes. Since people in the highest socioeconomic levels they are more wealthy, prestigious, and powerful, because as you have observed in the society, kung kinsa tong mga dato or sino pa yung mga mayayaman, they usually have this power and prestige in our society. They have more capacity to influence political arenas, 'di ba? For examples, business tycoons or chief executive officers of multinational corporations can use their money and status to influence government officials to create laws that will favor to proliferate their businesses at expenses of the lower class. 'Di ba? This could be in the form of tax exemptions for business or any policies that will free corporations to conduct economic activities even at early harms and harms the mass. People have lower socioeconomic, do not have political power, influence of the government to protect them. Who will help them now? So example, 'di ba? Those who have big companies and big factories in the Philippines, na-impluwensya nila yung mga, like for example, our congressmen or legislators to create a bill na they will be exempted in the particular uh, tax. How? Kaya nag-create itong mga mambabatas natin ng particular law that if will create a foundation or they will donate their some parts of their money in the foundation, they are actually exempted or malesen yung mga tax na babayaran nila into the government. So that's how the social economic status works in terms in political system and how they influence the society itself. I mean the political system where we belong, especially here in the Philippines. Sige. History maker. Carol Gilligan is an American feminist, uh, ethicist, and psychologist, best known for her theory on moral development and gender. She worked with Lawrence Kohlberg on establishing a theory of morality but gave special focus on how gender impacts on moral choices. Based on research findings, boys have justice perspective while girls have the care and responsibility perspective when it comes to evaluating in social situations. Gilligan also put special emphasis on the ethics in her studies, particularly ethical care and ethical relationships. She is a professor at the New York University and a visiting professor at the University of Cambridge. Okay. Here, putting value. Have you experienced any inequality because of your socio-economic class? So, na-experience ba na ninyo because of your socio-economic class? Naka-experience ba ka, ana? Discuss these experiences with your classmates. Take turns to share your experiences. Even if you do not have any experience or inequality, look into the Philippine society and cite some of your observations about unequal power and resources. After this, reflect and discuss on the following questions. How you feel upon hearing these experiences and observations? Do you believe that inequality among socioeconomic classes is inevitable? Why or why not? In your opinion, what would be the Philippine society be like if distinctions between social classes did not exist? Okay, as part of your activity this day and your attendance for this day, you will answer this third question. How will you answer this? You will put your answer in the comment section of this video, and at the end of your answer, if you don't have your YouTube account, please comment there your after your answer, comment it with your full name. Okay, if dili mo maka-comment, then try another account para maka-comment sa ani nga video. Anyways, makita man nako because your answer naa siya dapat butangan ninyo siya og pangalan ninyo ha. So, deadline ani would be next week Friday. Okay? Sige. So that's would be all for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned at least a little in this discussion. So, see you in the next week. So, have a happy weekend, everyone. So, by the way, welcome to our class ABM 1. Bye, everyone. So, smile.